Roles and Responsibilities of the Early Childhood Educator and What It Means to Me by Bailey Anch. My definition of early childhood professionalism. Professionalism in early childhood care is the demonstration of ethical action and decision-making. It involves maintaining a high quality in communication, adhering to policy and regulation, as well as collaborating with coworkers. Key roles. Advocate. An advocate speaks up and makes sure a child's needs are met. They ensure that children's rights are never taken away from them. They work with families and communities to create positive environments. Teachers. They teach children important literacy, numeracy, and problem-solving skills through play-based learning. Mentor. They help support a child's social and emotional development through modeling positive behavior. Caregiver. Caregivers make sure a child is provided a safe and nurturing environment to make sure they can flourish in. Ethics is a set of rules or principles that help you consider what is right and wrong in a particular environment, often unique to certain groups. For example, some things that could be deemed unethical in a daycare setting could be showing favoritism or treating a child unfairly because of past experiences. Or another example could be breaking the code of confidentiality. Something considered ethical would be complete transparency with caregivers and the assurance that all children were given equal opportunity. Values. Professional values are principles and beliefs that help guide an early child educator in making ethical decisions. They serve as a foundation when dealing with children, their families, and coworkers. For example, early child educators should value responsibility, ensuring all safety rules are followed and accurate records are kept. Important attitudes. Patience. Patience is the ability to stay calm when handling situations that may be stressful and demanding. Patience is an attitude that is exceptionally valued in the early childhood setting. You must be able to practice patience when dealing with the children, as it may be frustrating to wait for little Johnny to tie his shoes, and you might just want to take over. But if you practice patience, little Johnny will eventually be able to learn to tie his shoes more quickly. Not only is this important in that aspect, but it is also essential to demonstrate this attitude to the children in hopes that they will learn from it. Creativity is the ability to design and incorporate different learning experiences for the children. It is essential in various situations in an early childhood setting. It is not only imperative for your typical art projects, but it is also necessary to foster a child's creativity by using your own creativity to play into theirs, which helps children's cognitive development. For example, this morning, a child cut a gooseneck trailer out of a piece of paper and was carrying it around. I noticed this and I suggested to him, I wonder if there's anything else we could add to the trailer. He was like, I don't know. So I suggested to him that it would be a great idea if he made a paper truck that he could attach to the trailer. He was so excited. When he was done, he asked me if there was another way besides glue that I could attach the pieces of paper together so it would be able to move. I decided to use a brad clip for this. Important skills. Communication skills is an essential tool for early childhood educators. Having effective communication with children, their parents, and coworkers is vital to running a seamless program. The tool is important because it helps build relationships, ensures the safety and well-being of children. I have experienced in many situations in after-school care that has shown me how important communication skills are. Sometimes when the children get picked up right after school by parents or guardians, if this is not communicated with us, we cannot be sure that the child is safe. When this does happen, we contact parents immediately after making this discovery to confirm that the child's whereabouts are known. Poor communication in this instance could result in a child being in danger. Classroom management is the process educators use to create an organized, positive, and nurturing environment. A lot of the times, these involve the creations of expectations and rules that help guide behavior. Having the skills to manage a classroom is vital to early childhood education. Without the skills, your classroom could be chaos. If you lack classroom management skills, you may find yourself regularly overwhelmed. Some of these expectations/rules involve a cue to get everyone's attention. For example, hands on top, that means stop. And the standard rules like no running and being kind to your friends. Important knowledge. Health, safety, and nutrition. An adequate knowledge of health, safety, and nutrition is necessary for early childhood educators. It is important to be able to demonstrate what a nutritious choice is when it comes to mealtime. Modeling is also an important tool when it comes to these three things. You may advocate for these things and talk about these choices with the children, but suppose a child sees you bring a chocolate bar for breakfast. In that case, all those things might go out the window that you've tried to teach them. So it is important to model safe choices like walking feet, using scissors correctly, demonstrating healthy habits like brushing your teeth and hair, and ensuring all your clothes are not the same as the last day's. Curriculum design is the process of planning a sequence of experiences, activities, and learning materials that support the child's development. When creating a curriculum design, it is important that you intend to cater to the children's interests, needs, and development stages. A good example of curriculum design that I've recently observed in my center was when one of my coworkers saw that a lot of the kids noticed all of the leaves changing and the sounds they made when you stepped on them. She considered this information when she was planning for the next week's experiences. Personal reflection and professional development. I am in the later stages of being an emerging educator, which is the second stage of professional growth. I have realized where my strengths and weaknesses are and how I can work on them to be a better educator. My focus has moved away from situations that deviate from the norm. I have been wanting more feedback from the people around me. At this point in my journey, I've been at the same OSC for 2 years, and my time here has been excellent. I have learned so much, but I feel that I'm at a learning plateau. My current supervisor is great, but she has shared much of her knowledge, making it hard for her to teach me more. I want to find a mentor in stage 4, maturity of professional development, as I know there is much more to learn. I do find myself learning a lot from the children and each experience. I often find myself thinking back, is that the best way I could have handled it? Was there another solution? If there was, I walk myself through the steps that could have made a better outcome. References.
Created using Powtoon.